Welcome to Explicit Materia GodMode, the Shane and Evan Talk About Video Games show. The show where you get the best opinions from the best non-experts around. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Okay, great. Awesome. Welcome, friends, to another episode of Explicit Materia GodMode. After a brief hiatus, me and Evan are back to talk video games and all the other stuff that we want to talk about.
It's been too long, Shane.
It's
too long.
Way too long. Evan is now a full-fledged adult. He has a big boy job in Houston. He moved to Houston. He went to college. How long did you go to school for?
I went to school for 1,000 years over the course of my life. I was in close to 22 years of my life were spent in a classroom waiting for this day to come. When I finally could come out and I could pay a bunch of bills and be like, wow, I wish I could just play video games all day. Instead of this, I would trade it all and just undo everything if I could, if that were an option.
I mean, wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? Being an adult sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
I gotta tell
There's
you.
no upside to it at all. There's no
none.
pros. I mean, there's bills, there's insurance, which, by the way, I don't think I appreciated fully how much health insurance sucked before I had it, right? And now that I'm like just as broke, and I thought I guess I thought that like everybody that had good health insurance other than me was just going to the doctor and being like, here you go, sir, everything is taken care of. But instead, it's more like, hey, would you like here's 22 options, and here's this HSA, and so you can take your money that you can spend everywhere and only spend it in one place later, and then you're supposed to be happy about that because there's some kind of tax benefit at some point. Like it's all completely awry. I don't know why Americans aren't in the streets every day about health insurance, right? That should be like the only thing. That should be the only issue.
I mean, dude, it's so complicated. I remember when like Obamacare was first going out, and like I didn't have insurance through my work because I was touring a lot, and so Obamacare came out, and it was they came out and they said it's going to be really easy. You have your tiers, and you're like, okay, cool. I'm like I'm relatively young, 25, and I'm not going to get the most expensive plan, so I go on there, and there's like 70 different plans, and like none of them explained like anything, like what they covered or anything like that. It was so confusing. I was like, I don't know which one to pick. Like how much am I paying?
Deliberately like it's obfuscating on purpose, kind of like the financial industry. There's people that sit and come up with ways to like make it difficult for you to get the precise way that you're being screwed over by their creative fandangling. It's a bad situation all around. It really is.
But at least now you're a true American with a job, and you're paying bills. And you're working for your money.
I don't know about that, because if you're a Texan, you're actually like an extra true American. You're like a super American.
You're in Texas, man.
And
I've been to Texas a few times, and it's pretty fucking dope. Like the cities that I've been to anyway, like Austin, Houston, Dallas, like beautiful cities.
It's
like
cool.
All three.
It's cool. Yeah, beautiful traffic. It's so fun to just sit in a car with 1,000 billion other people. No, but the food though, Shane, the food is legit. Like I don't know, like you know that before I moved out here, I spent some time in Knoxville, Tennessee. And Knoxville, Tennessee does not have any Cambodian restaurants or Ethiopian restaurants or Colombian restaurants or Venezuelan, Argentinian. Like there's foods I've never heard of. I feel like I've lived my whole life watching a black and white TV, and now there's color. Like there's new tastes, there's new fruits that I didn't have access to before because I didn't live anywhere close to the border. It's unbelievable. I eat like a king all the time. It's great.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, while you were doing that, I got into Zelda Breath of the Wild because I finally got a Switch.
Me?
Yeah.
Mr. Johnny Come Lately. Let's talk about that. Holy smokes. That game, that's a great game.
It is really good. It is really good. Also, one of the more frustrating games I've ever played.
Maybe you're just bad at it.
Maybe I just get good, bruh. Get good.
I think I thought when I first started the game, I was like, this is the hardest Zelda game by far. This is so much harder than any of those Zelda games. And then by the end, like I think my last playthrough, I was doing 3 hearts on Master Mode. And it's not that it was any easier, but I had kind of like figured out the tricks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of tricks, and it takes a long time to figure it out, pretty much.
Well, see, that's my major problem is like they based the whole game around tricks and puzzles, which is what Zelda is. It's like it's not like a regular RPG where you just you grind until you level up to a certain point, and then you go after the boss, and then there you go. No, it's like each boss has a different way of how they died. It's a very specific way how to beat them, and that's what makes Zelda games so great.
Uh-huh.
With that said, weapon durability, oh my god. It has like I'm surprised I like the game so much because it has all the things I hate about video games. It has the most incredible weapon durability. Incredible meaning not so incredible. It's like every weapon has 10 hits and you have to move on to the next weapon.
That it's pretty brutal, Shane. And you know how I feel really about weapon durability. I think that humanity's worst inventions include slavery and weapon durability. Need I go on? That's the end of the list.
I mean, that is the end of the list. Absolutely. I am 100% agree with you.
Weapon durability is just a microtransaction where you spend time. The game makes you spend time and effort instead of money. It's just obnoxious.
Look, I'm not a video game developer, but I could maybe think of another way to make the game, as far as its weapon system, a little bit better. No, okay, so you have weapon durability. Fine, that's fine. If you want to put in weapon durability, that's fine.
It's not fine.
It's not fine, but if you really want to, and if you're gonna fire me for going against you in this opinion of yours, then fine, you can have it. Why not have status bars for the weapons? Every single game that has weapon durability, The Witcher, I'm pretty positive Baldur's Gate had it. I'm pretty all the Dungeons and Dragons
they would give you a percentage, right?
They would give you a percentage,
like 2%. You have 2 swings. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll tell you how much damage your weapon has accrued.
Instead of surprise, you're in the middle of fighting somebody big. You don't have this weapon anymore.
I don't get it. I don't understand, and it's because I don't know why. Why did they do that, Evan? Why did they do that?
Shane, I'm sorry. Okay, I really am sorry. Did you know that there is? I don't want to like give anything away, but there's a weapon that doesn't break. Have you interacted with it yet?
You mean the Master Sword?
Yes.
Yes, I have gotten the That was the first thing I wanted to get because I thought
because everything else was breaking on 2 swings.
Everything was breaking. Exactly. I was like, okay, so how many hearts do I need to get? 13? Great. Okay, I'm going to get
BRB.
13. I'll be right back. I'm going to get as many hearts as friggin' possible, as fast as possible, because I want to get that damn sword. And I got that damn sword.
That's exactly... I didn't care that it was the Master Sword. I didn't care how much damage it did. It could do 4 damage. What mattered was that it did not break like everything else.
Oh, no, it doesn't break, but it goes away after a while.
No, it kind of breaks.
I'm sorry. Fucking Nintendo. Jesus Christ.
It kind of breaks.
I'm going to go on a little tangent here, if I haven't already. Because, dude... They just, it's like they got hard for weapon durability. I'll tell you that, to my knowledge, none of the other Zelda games had weapon durability. Am I correct in this?
They also only had one, you had one weapon, but yeah. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shane. If you'll recall, there was the Bigoron sword in Ocarina of Time, and if you swung it a couple times, it would actually break and be a stump.
Okay, well, that's like a special weapon, but the main sword doesn't... At least you have a sword that doesn't break.
There's some weapon durability. All I'm saying is it's there. I'm with you on that. I know that, like, I don't know, that some people might say, hey, this is what's making you use different weapons that you normally wouldn't use, which I think is total bogus because...
Bogus.
You put your time and effort into your favorite weapon because you like using it, right? Your favorite weapon type, whether it's axes in that game or spears. I don't think I used a spear but like twice because I just did not enjoy that way of fighting.
I don't
understand.
understand.
Game's forcing me to do, now I'm collecting like well, here's a weapon that's really good, but maybe it's going to break, so maybe I should save it. I don't know. Now I have to deal with, I got to get these little rocks because I need more inventory. By the way, I hope you're not putting anything into any inventory other than swords, because that's what you're going to,
yeah, mostly
that's what
swords.
you have to have.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like, okay, like Zelda, they really wanted to go down this open world aspect, and it's a beautiful game. Please don't get me wrong.
See,
all the
you have
Zelda
so much
fans.
good stuff to say about it.
Oh, it's a beautiful game. It's fantastic. I'm still playing it. I'm having fun with the game after I've gotten used to its weapon durability bullshit. So, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking about weapon durability and how there's the slots,
inventory.
the sword slots. Yeah,
inventory. So you have to go around and you gotta find all the Korok people or the wood creatures, whatever they're called. I forget what they're called, but they're just scattered everywhere, and you gotta solve little puzzles to get them. And it's just like it's not even. It's like it's at a certain point, like it's fun after the first 30. And you're like, okay, this is just fun. Oh, wait. There's 180 I have to get or something ridiculous? Ridiculous number?
There's 900 total.
Jesus.
Shane, you're behind, man. You missed some, is what it sounds like. It sounds like you missed 800 of those little things.
It seems to me it was a way to make the game seem longer than it really needed to be. There are more efficient ways. There are more efficient ways to add in inventory for your character, and more fun ways to. Again, I'm not a video game developer. I might be talking out of my ass, and the comment section might be going crazy right now. But I'm just. I'm just saying.
What if I say this? Because it's obviously we both like the game, right? I mean, there's the thing that I like the most about the game is that most of the time when you talk about a sandbox game, you're talking about like the environment. Okay, so say Grand Theft Auto might be a sandbox game because the whole environment is populated with all these, then you can walk around and you can go anywhere you want. You don't have to do missions. It's just being there that's fun. But Breath of the Wild took it a step further and said, here are like a bunch of sandbox items. This electricity will interact with this water in such a way.
No, I like that.
And you
like
really
that.
like you really improvise and trip over a lot of really cool things that are unique to your playthrough of the game, and that nobody else would have really had this happen. But because you kind of know, okay, this leaf doesn't do any damage, but it blows people around, I can use that to throw them into a bomb, and I can do...
You can use it for the raft.
Exactly, and kind of like as you go along, you like pick up more and more, and you learn
I
more.
like that.
And
that's
honestly,
very Zelda. That's very Zelda.
The seeds, okay, to me, the seeds were like a way to reward exploration because we would have explored anyway. It's a beautiful world. We would have climbed up to the top of that mountain anyway. Just the fact that there's a rock up there and we get a little prize for it. I mean, it was a way, and over here, there's no reason for me to go over here. There's nothing cool. Oh, wait a second. There's these 3 rocks in a line, and if I add a 4th one, right? So that, that kind of stuff, it's just a way to like make it so no matter what direction you turn, there's going to be something there to do. And I liked that. I don't like it when like I travel down a part of it and I'm like, ooh, this is cool looking. And all of a sudden the game's either like, we didn't mean for you to go this way, so there's nothing here. There's not even any items. Think about how many times in a game you've come to a part and you've been like, there's not a chest here, but there should be, because this is like kind of set off as an area.
Yeah. I agree with everything you just said. Okay, it's fine. Why do they have to accumulate every time that you get a seed? So every time you get a seed, let's say you get one seed from a Korok, whatever. You get a Korok seed. Is that what they're called? What are they called again? I forget what they're called.
Yes, they're called little Korok seeds.
Okay. So you get one Korok seed, you get one inventory space. Then you got to get 3. Then you got to get 5. Then you got to get
diminishing returns. Shane.
Then you got to get
they're
9.
Not just going to give you. They're not going to give you. In your case, 180 slots because you got 180 seeds. Come on.
Why can't? I'm just saying. You know what it is? It's because I'm an adult and I don't have all the time in the world to beat this damn game. Like I don't, and that's what it is. I think
it's not fun to beat that game. It's fun to play it for like forever. You should never beat it. You should only play it.
I want to beat it. Well, actually, I can technically probably beat it right now. I have enough hearts. I have enough freaking awesome weapons. I got all the divine beasts. I've got I'm pretty much ready to face Ganon, but for some reason I just want to get all those shrines.
Don't watch a speed run. Please do not watch a speed run before you beat the game, because
Why?
there's people that are like, there's people that like. One guy like chopped down a tree and then like did the stasis and swung, so he rides a log into like where Ganon is. It just shows up in a way that, like, just picture if you're the boss and you're like, I rule this world, this is terrible, and then all of a sudden Link comes in riding on a log like it's a bull, plowing down the door. Here I am. You would be like, oh god, this is the end. This is it right here.
I thought I had more time.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought my plan was foolproof.
There are some outrageous speedruns because that game allows you to, if you want,
if you wanted to,
run straight to Ganon without, doing anything first.
Another thing that kind of bothered me, which they fixed in the DLC, which I found out, which I still haven't got the DLC yet, but
get the DLC. What are you doing?
I need to do that. But I noticed early on, I was like, well, I mean, horses are cool and all, but I don't really need them. I don't really need a horse because all I'm doing is paragliding and teleporting. That's mostly what I'm doing the whole time. And also, like, why doesn't the horse teleport with you?
Yeah, which sounds like you need to get the DLC.
Yeah,
Shane.
they fixed it. They fixed it in the DLC.
Fix.
Regardless, why isn't that in the first part of the game? Why couldn't that have been a thought in the game? Like, you should think about that before you, like, oh, we'll make it as a DLC item.
I don't know. Did you get? Doesn't the DLC also have there's like a coin or some kind of, like, you can put a portal anywhere and then come back to that place?
I think
like,
I saw
if you
that.
want to say,
Something
if
like
you want
that.
to farm dragon scales, don't look up how to do that either. That'll just you'll just beat the game way too fast if you do that.
I already have. I don't have time, Evan. I got to figure this shit out. I got to figure this shit out by letting other people figure it out for me.
Farming dragon scales. Nicely done.
Actually, this morning, that's what I was doing this morning, is farming Ferosh horns and Dinral. I got all 3 actually dragons this morning, which was actually quite a feat.
Nicely done.
Yeah. But also kind of annoying because you're just like, okay,
what
I gotta wait
set?
at a specific time, and I gotta wait. I literally have to wait here for this dragon to freaking appear.
And
if
nobody
he does.
can make it faster. Yeah, there are tricks, but you're right. No one can, like. That's sometimes they're like, everything has to be random and spontaneous. It doesn't,
But okay, I think I've harped on the most beloved game in existence for a little bit long, but I will say that, like, it's a fantastic game, and I'm really impressed, like, how much they were able to put in a little tiny cartridge.
Now he sounds like an old adult.
I mean, really though, fuck yeah. I mean, I've been playing games since I was 4 years old. Like, it's incredible that games came from this huge friggin' thing, like, it's not that big, but
Yeah, they've been working on, like, there's like a terabyte SD card, micro SD card now, I think. They've been working on that. It's like it's a cure for cancer, Shane. And those are guys that have nothing to do with video games at all. Those are guys who just day in, day out, they're like, it must be smaller and hold more and smaller.
Oh, man. I actually, it's funny, like, before I got into Zelda, I got Jedi Fallen Order.
Is that game fun?
Yes, it is a great game. However, of course, with every game that I play, there's always something that pisses me off about it. And I don't understand why they decided to model the combat after Dark Souls. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Your favorite game.
Oh, no, it's not my favorite game at all. I hate it. I hate that style of playing. That is my opinion. I don't hate it. All right. I don't hate it, because hate's a really strong word. I'm going to try not to say hate as much.
Okay.
I dislike it a whole lot. I dislike it a whole lot.
So you're talking about, like, rolling around, right? Waiting for an opening and then attacking and then rolling around.
Well, it's like that kind of combat is really that kind of combat is. I can understand the appeal of it, because it really, you have to think about even the tiniest of enemies. You have to think about how you're fighting this one enemy. Every single enemy has different attack patterns, and you have to pay attention to that. I understand. Fantastic. You want your combat to be like a friggin' homework assignment. That's fine. That is your prerogative. There are better combat systems, though, and I can name them right now. The best combat system I think I've ever played in a video game was Sleeping Dogs. You ever play that game? That game is amazing. The combat is incredible. And it's basically like a Batman Arkham system. It's like the counter system where you're waiting for the opponent and then it goes into like a cutscene, whatever. It makes you feel like a freaking badass.
Okay.
Okay. And
Sleeping Dogs. Okay.
Sleeping Dogs. It's like a Grand Theft Auto clone. And the story is actually really good. And the actors, I did a small little review on it. It's like one of my first reviews on this channel. It's a fantastic game.
Nice.
But they modeled the combat after Dark Souls, and it was frustrating. It was that first part of the game. The first part of the game, I'm like, this is really frustrating. I don't like this. I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun. Yeah. See, and that's my problem with the Dark Souls formula is like, I'm not having fun playing this game, which is, games are supposed to be fun. Am I correct?
I would say so, yes.
Especially a Star Wars game where you're playing as a fucking Jedi.
A Jedi should not have to. It should be fun to be a Jedi, yes.
Yes, and so, you play... And I guess I understand where they're going because he's kind of unsure of himself, and he's like, that classic, like, I don't want to, I need that classic sort of emo sort of like guy. He's kind of like, I don't want to hurt anyone with my lightsaber. No, it's not like that. It's just he feels overwhelmed because I forget where it takes place in the Star Wars story, but I played that and I posted it on Reddit for the third time, and I was expected to get destroyed by all these different commenters, but I actually got a lot of support.
Really?
I was actually impressed.
For the combat system.
Yeah.
That's one thing, like, that's a really vital... I don't know that all video game developers respect what a vital part of a game that is, because that's the part that's supposed to be fun, right? Like, that's what you're doing that's what you're doing in the game. And if it's not fun, if it's tedious, or if people don't like it, it's like, what else is there, right? That's why
certainly
I'm here.
I will say this: it's not tedious because you're always fucking up because you always forget like how to fight this one stormtrooper. Uh-huh. Like just I don't know. Maybe Knights of Old Republic games kind of ruined it for me because
they were so good. You mean
they were so good? They were so good. And to the game's credit, Fallen Order. I mean, they put in a lot of work, and it is a fantastic game, but. The combat just pissed me off until the very, very, very end of the game where something happens where like, okay, so this is why my character sucked for so long. I get it now, but it's towards the very, very, very end of the game.
You find out he's actually the reincarnation of the character from Dark Souls. And that's why he does that. That's why he does those things. Yeah,
but it was a good game. I was really impressed with the story. I thought, it could have been better, but it was a good story. It was like, this is a good step in the right direction for the Star Wars games. Let's just keep going in this direction.
I will say, if I want to hear more about the direction, but I will say that if we're not off Breath of the Wild yet, I thought that the story of Breath of the Wild was not that great. I skipped almost every cutscene. The voice acting didn't help, but I didn't care. I wanted to go climb some more mountains and lift some more rocks.
I think with Zelda games, I don't think their biggest claim to fame is the story, really. Because it's been the same story.
That doesn't mean it has to be bad, right?
No, no way. I don't think it was bad. I think it is what it is. I think it's like, okay, freaking Zelda is trapped in the freaking castle, and you gotta go save her. Right? Are we good with this, people? Are we good? How about we throw in some extra things because of the camera, and you could go to different spots around the world, and then that will be
That part was
pretty
cool. That part was cool. But like the story of Mario is that Bowser kidnaps a princess, but they don't make you watch a cutscene that's like laying that out, right? You know what I mean? Like if you hear, here's a serious part. Oh, the serious people are here saying serious things.
Well, see, I think they did a good job with like all of that is optional. All the like captured memories. That's what it is. You have a point in the game where you have the option to go capture all the memories, and it shows all of the memories of the past, or the same Link who was asleep for the past 100 years. This is your life with the Princess Zelda, and if you wanted to get a little backstory, then you got a little backstory. If you wanted to go, hey, I'm just gonna go climb this mountain, then you can go just fucking climb a mountain.
Okay, let's go back to the direction that you think that Star Wars games are going that you liked, because I want to hear more of that.
Well, like story-based, because it was a story-based game. There's no microtransactions. There's no little tricks that will get you to buy more stuff, they took time and effort to actually make a game that has a good story in the Star Wars universe. That's all I asked for. That's all we've all asked for years, ever since the Force Unleashed games. We're like, okay, that was a fun little story. Let's get some more of that. Nope. From now on, EA, we're just gonna do freaking Call of Duty / whatever Battlefront fuckery that's going on, and we're just gonna make you pay to level up, and we're just gonna ruin the Star Wars video game franchise forever.
Wow, that wasn't a good plan on their part, was it?
No, I guess not. Well, at least that's what it seems like. Jeez.
How did you like The Mandalorian? That's a little bit of a different spin on.
I haven't even watched it yet.
Oh,
I haven't even watched.
Shane, that's a direction. That's a great direction.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about The Mandalorian. I'm trying to convince Ash to watch it with. I like to watch shows with her as opposed to me, because
she would like it. Like it.
I like to watch shows with my wife because I don't know why, but I feel like kind of like a slob when I'm just sitting down watching TV myself. I don't know why. So it counts as
quality time if she's also there slobbing out, is what you mean.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill.
Leah liked it. My wife liked it as well.
Okay.
So it's but it's not. There's no other, I think, Star Wars anything that it really reminded me of. The thing it reminded me of the most was kind of like when they were making Firefly, how they wanted it to kind of be like an intergalactic Western, right? Like there's, even though you have all of space, it's still, there's just one man, and he's, going through, and he is a hero, but he's a tortured hero,
One man, one desire.
Exactly. And so it's very like cowboy-y kind of, even though they're all Star Wars set pieces, so to speak.
See,
it's
that's
just
cool.
Really cool. And like I said, it's so different. I mean, it's really not like any of the movies. It's just, I don't know. It was cool. It was a good watch, and it's worth getting a 7-day Disney Plus free trial and just binging them and giving it back.
We have Disney Plus. We really haven't used it. But yeah, that's the first thing that we're gonna watch.
Check that one out.
I actually just got done watching Schitt's Creek, which if you haven't watched that show, watch that show. It's amazing.
You like that one? Okay.
It's so funny. What else? Freaking my chair. I just got this chair, and this plastic apparently still on there. There we go. Okay, sir. Sorry.
Brand new.
There, brand new chair. But yeah, I think they should make more. I mean, it wasn't the best Star Wars game I played, but it was not the worst, and I will probably play it again if I'm itching for some Star Wars fun. But honestly, I'll probably play Knights of the Old Republic or Force Unleashed again. Yeah,
you got to go up to Karth and ask him. When he says something's bothering him and you ask him what it is, and he says, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
You got to do a mission first. and then he'll open up. Like, after we did this mission that took an hour, then I'll talk to you.
I remember it was kind of funny because I remember being stuck in KOTOR 2, didn't know what to do next, and so I went to a walkthrough. And part of this particular walkthrough was the idea that the best way to play the game was to be a Sith. And so in order to get the Sith powers, you had to be a jerk the whole time, right? So I'm looking and I'm like, it's like, okay, step 1, go to the shopkeeper and then throw him off a cliff. And I was like, is that really what a Jedi would do? Like, I'm like, oh, is that the next thing I'm supposed to do? They just go through, like, from thing to thing, saying the worst possible dialogues. I mean, just, it's being terrible. Because apparently being mean gives you Sith powers.
Yeah. Back in the day, man, that freaking game blew my mind. Especially the ending. The ending of the first KOTOR blew my freaking mind. Like, I look back at it and I was like, how could I have not seen that? But before that, I didn't see that twist ending at the. I thought I was gonna go and fight that dude, and I'm like, oh, I am that dude. Oh, crazy!
You mean like that Bruce Willis was dead the whole time? Is that
it was that level of twist for me. It was that level of a twist.
Well, it must not have been memorable for me because I just I moved on to 2.
When did you play it? You played it much later, though.
I guess so. Because
it came out in like,
I still
came out in like
liked
2004.
I got it as like a kit on Steam of like 30 Star Wars games, and I was like, sweet, 30 Star Wars games. And I played those 2, and I was like, wow, every single Star Wars game is great. But if you want to get to 30, you got to make some clunkers along the way.
Yeah.
So those were also in there. But I played a lot of let's talk about N64 Rogue Squadron, because I played that quite a bit. Did you ever get that one?
I never had a 64. I only had a PlayStation. And here's another, here's another confession real quick.
Uh-oh.
I have a Zelda tattoo on my back, right? And this is kind of embarrassing.
Your lower back,
on my lower back? No, on my upper back. It's not a tramp stamp, y'all.
Like a man, okay.
Like a man. It was my first tattoo ever. Okay, how old was I? I was like 18. There was 18, and there was like, what are you gonna tattoo? It was like freaking Zelda. And the reason why I have Zelda Triforce tattooed on my back is because Zelda was the first game that it clicked for me. I was like, I love video games, because that first little intro, the melody comes down, the sword is right there, Legend of Zelda. You get it. You're like, oh, this is an adventure. I'm ready to go. And then I played the game, and I'm like, fuck, this game is hard. This game is way too hard for my 6-year-old brain, and I'm never going to pick it up ever again. I still, to this day, have never beaten the first Zelda game. I have never beaten Ocarina. I never beat... I did beat Link to the Past.
Link to the Past?
I did beat Link to the Past, but there's an asterisk in those. I never beat them alone. I always beat them with the help of a friend. So I've never beaten a Zelda game by myself ever until Breath of the Wild, which I'm going to freaking beat. I'm going to freaking beat. It's going to be my first Zelda game I'm going to beat by myself.
And I'm really glad that you were a kid and something got sparked inside of you, and that's why you got your Zelda tattoo. Yeah. Actually, something similar happened to me, and that's why I have, Rose from the Titanic. Her boobs are tattooed to my back.
just her boobs.
They're actually life size. They're where like my shoulder blades are. So if I spin around real fast, you know what? That's a whole different.
Get off the raft, Jack. Jesus.
Yeah, she was mean. Well, that's not the part that's marked by. You know what? We can talk about something else. What else you got on your list of topics?
Well, you did mention something that we could talk about when we decided to get back into the podcast. Is gaming while being an adult. That's a very interesting topic, depressing conversation, which I think a lot of the 2 listeners that listen to this show
you're talking about you and me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When we listen back to it, like, God, we were so smart.
I was like, I know there's not 2 more. It's 2.
Just us 2.
Yeah.
Freaking yeah. So yeah, it's freaking hard, man. I can't imagine trying to play video games as an adult with children. I have 2 dogs, and I have to take care of them and make sure that they're not gonna die. and I have a wife that I have to take care of. Well, not take care of. She takes care of me mostly. If anyone's taking care of anybody, but you gotta be there. You gotta be a good husband. You can't just be in your room playing video games for 6 hours.
I know, and that's why some of the most humiliating experiences are when I try to introduce Leah to a video game in order for us to maybe bond some and get some co-op on. But it usually doesn't end well, Shane. I'm sorry. It has to be certain. There has to be so many specific criteria. Like it has to be a game that both of us are on the same side, and it's okay if one of us is much better than the other. That doesn't break the whole situation. Like there has to be nothing that she can do that will completely lose it for us, because that's just too much pressure.
So what you're saying is you can't play Battletoads.
We played some Battletoads. We played Battletoads. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's actually impressive. That's like the hardest 2-player game ever to play, because you can hit each other. You can, you can't go forward until the other person goes, right? If the screen can't move forward until the other person can go.
If you play it with my wife, then the back half of the game is single player. But then it was I think it was maybe Donkey Kong. It was a game where we shared lives. So we, say I have 100 lives and I play as Donkey Kong, and she keeps dying as Diddy, and so it just eats mine. So she's died 99 times and I've died once, and we lose the game. But it wasn't But in all seriousness, though, we played through Super Mario Odyssey together, and that was really fun because she could be Cappy, and so there's a lot that if somebody's playing as Cappy, the game's like a lot easier and more fun. And Cappy can't die in any of the ways that we tried, so
I don't think I've ever.
So that's a good one.
Have I tried? Like I think I've. It's so funny because the games that I like to play are like games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age and like really story-based games, and I remember early into our relationship, I was playing Mass Effect 2 or 1. I think it was 1, actually. Mass Effect 1. It was early into our relationship, and she was spending the night. And there was a moment where she was on the bed reading, and I look over to her, and I'm like, babe, look at these freaking graphics. It looks like I'm playing a freaking movie. Isn't this awesome? And I was thinking that she, like, for some stupid reason in my brain, I thought, like, that would be oh my gosh, it is. It is like a movie.
I love video games now.
I love video games. Also, I love sci-fi. No, you idiot.
What happened instead?
She was just like, oh, that's cool.
And she went back to her book, and in her mind, she was like, I will never marry this man.
It was also like it was again early into our relationship, and I was like, there are things that she needs to know about me before we can go any further. It's like, number one, I'm in a band and I'm touring and all that stuff, so that's a pretty big hump to get over. And number two, I friggin' love video games. And so she's gonna have to get used to me playing video games. I'm gonna be an old ass man playing video games. And she's totally cool. She's totally cool with it. And I'm like, all right, well, guess what? We're getting married.
We did. I will say that if there's a certain games that are really engrossing, like now that there's games like God of War and The Last of Us and stuff that are very much like just as fun for someone to watch as it is to play. There's a lot, like I was playing through Horizon Zero Dawn, and I would go get her when I was going to do a story mission because we both wanted to know what was going to happen. Like that was probably the last game that I was really like, I have to know what's going down in this story because I was just so in it. Man, I was in it. There's a lot of problems with that game, but the story just absolutely had me hooked.
Yeah, that's on my list of things to play, and also my list of things of things I should have played way long ago. I'm going to put it on the list with all the movies I should be watching.
It was really refreshing because it's like a new universe, right? So you know, characters. Hey, look, it's a cool new Zelda game. I kind of already know how things are going to be put together and things are going to go. But Horizon Zero Dawn was like all from scratch, which is really ambitious, right? Like it's really like bold on the part of a developer to be like, we have a story that we think is just as good as some of the ones that are out there.
Yeah, and I've heard nothing but good things about that game. Honestly, it's like this game.
It's cool.
It's
beautiful. Yeah, and it's really cool too. But as far as adulting, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning, because you know how there's that like Warren Buffett quote where he's talking about how like if you really want to get your life to, you know, somebody that he was mentoring came to him and was like, what should I do? You know, I need to get my life together and make $1 billion like you. And Warren Buffett was like, here's the method that you should do. Write down the 20 things in your life that are the most important to you. Okay? Like these are all going to be your goals. These are things that you want to get accomplished. And the kid did. And he was like, now pick 5. This is going to be your top 5. And the kid did. He got it down to like, this is the stuff that like really matters. And Warren Buffett was like, from now on, until you do these 5 things, your goal, your thing that you have to like passionately go after is not doing the other 15. Like is to get everything else, the other 15 out of the way and just focus on like that 5. So I really thought I you know, obviously I went from like being in school where I had a ton of time, like grad school, I was working remotely. I mean, I was waking up at like 11. I was just not, you know, caring at all. That to like a full time, I go in the building and it's dark. I leave the building and it's dark, like job, right? Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, I was very bummed that I wasn't making time for the things that I love, like video games. And I was like, you know, I must be doing this cost benefit analysis and thinking like the benefit is less to play video games now than it's ever been because I'm an old cynical man now, and that made me sad. But after a while I realized what was really happening was that it's not that the benefit of video games got less, it's just the cost to play them got more, you know? Mm-hmm. Like the opportunity cost of like I have to be intentional now, which in some ways is making things better because I'm like I want to play these 20 games, but I got to pick 5.
Yeah, exactly.
And I got to pick, you know, I got to go after these 5, and I don't have to be bummed because I'm not, because really there's so many hours in the day. Once we moved to Houston, I got into some new things, and I'm one guy at work has got me excited about doing jujitsu. Another person at work has got me excited about like going to yoga every week. And I'm like, I get to pick, but I have to pick. But I can only do so many things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the same exact boat as far as like trying to figure out what the hell to do with this YouTube channel because, you know, but it's like I see other like YouTubers and they post like stuff and they have an idea and they know exactly what they want to do. I don't have a clue as to what I want to focus on because I've thousands of things I want to focus on. Like I want to do a podcast, but I also want to do video game reviews, and I also want to get better at video editing, and I also want to get better at doing the drum stuff. And then here's another project that I thought would be really cool, and that's going to take up all of my time. And so like I'm stuck at this part in my life where I'm like, I'm kind of overwhelmed, honestly. And that's probably another reason why I haven't done a podcast in a long time. It's because I did the whole Assassin's Creed series, which I'm finishing up the 3rd one, Assassin's Creed 3 and 4, and I've been working on that for a while, and then I started on this other project, which I will announce later. I'm not ready to announce it yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun and really cool. And
you're going to review the next 2 Assassin's Creeds after that?
No,
I'm on to you,
I need to take a break. I need to take a break from the Assassin's Creed stuff. Assassin's Creed 3 took it out of me, man. That game, freaking...
It's not fun.
That game is trash. That game is trash. And I know this kind of ruins my review, but I don't give a fuck.
Did you think a lot of people were wondering if you were going to like 3 or 4 better?
No.
Oh, man.
But I do compare it a little bit to the others, because there is Assassin's Creed 3 was like the schism that Ubisoft was like, oh, fuck. We kind of fucked up. We need to figure out something else, something new and fresh. Anyway,
right.
That's all coming. That big, huge video is coming. So I don't, to your point, like, I don't know which, but at the same time, those things, those are what's important to me. Like, it's like because you're a creative person too. You were a musician or still are. Have you? Do you still write songs every now and then?
Every now and then, yeah.
Yeah. So you're a creative person like myself, and do you ever have the moments where you're just inspired to create something? And you're just like, yes. I need to do this. I need to do this right now. Because if I don't do this right now and I don't get started on it, then it will go away. And I won't, and that's like my brain is kind of OCD in that, where I want to, I'll do a podcast and I'll do a podcast and do a podcast. And all of a sudden, like, now I want to do video game reviews. Now I want to do, another drum cover. Now I want to, and I need to jump on that inspiration immediately in my brain. Otherwise, I won't want to do it later. Yeah. Does that make sense?
I know exactly what you mean, 100%.
And so, yeah, I don't know how to control that. I'm still trying to figure that out because I'm not a scheduled person. I'm just not.
I don't think there's, I mean, I know there's people that are like creative for a living, but I don't think there's anyone, in spite of what they might say, that can show up and like really, really not want to write and really not want to make something and then make themselves do it anyway. I think there's like a piece of that in all of us. And I have the same feeling that you have when I want to make something. And if I like the way that you said it, because I'm not very good about like sitting down and doing it now. I need to get like the reality that if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. And if I don't do it now, it's definitely not going to get done.
Well, you want to take advantage of that motivation. That's like, that's brewing. You're like, oh man, this is a freaking cool idea. I need to do this right now. I'm excited about it. And you need to take advantage of that motivation. And that's how I feel about this other project that I just started.
Well, the way that you go about it when you're making so much content, like the volume of content also kind of reminds you how quickly you're moving from one thing to the next. And you're like, it almost makes you appreciate what you're doing right now, because this in itself is special for what it is. And later when you look back on it, you won't see it the same way as when you're doing it. Right. Like that's what makes it, there's some magic in that, I feel like.
Let's talk. Okay, we're talking about adulting, so that kind of went off a different way as far as like self-help. But anyway, okay, so I figured it out. You know how some people, like as far as my adulting and trying to figure out a time to play video games that's good for me.
Okay.
You know how some people wake up really early in the morning before they start their work day or whatever. They get up at like freaking 5 a.m, and then they work out for an hour, and then they go to work and they do their thing, and then they take care of the kids and this, that, and the other. Right?
I hate those people.
I figured out that if I get up super early, take care of the dogs, get them nice and fed, take them outside, make sure that they're all played with and everything, and then go that like from 6:30 to 9 o'clock, that is my me time. That is my video game playing time. And then after that, I go to work. And then during my breaks at work, I'll work on some video editing. And then after work, get home, make dinner. Or sometimes my wife is gracious enough to make dinner because she gets home before me. And after dinner tea, after dinner tea, sit down, edit videos, whatever. Work on some music, that other stuff. So that is my day. So the early morning is my time to play video games. That is my me time. Figured it out.
You know why I'm cracking up, Shane? Because I feel like at different points in my life, I've heard someone be like, I know the secret to physical fitness. You need to get up. You need to wake up super early in the morning and just work out for an hour. And then someone else has sat me down and be like, you need to wake up early in the morning and read the Bible. And like now I feel like you're the only person I've ever met in my life who was like, we need to make sure we're making time every day to play video games.
I didn't call it my video game time. I called it my me time.
Me time. Okay.
It's my me time. Everyone needs a little bit of me time. Everyone has to have a moment. You're like, just please.
I don't have a lot of.
Just let me have them. I think that's very important in someone's life. Everyone's just like, okay, I need to decompress from the day or the day before in this case, and just relax, zone out, play video games, and after the video game's done, go to work. Then the workday starts, and then okay, it's all about work for the rest of the day.
That's somebody else's time, right? That's not your time.
That's right. Are you willing to do that?
I got more. Can you just find 10, maybe 20 minutes every day to play video?
Well, how do you,
You
do
know
it?
what? Everybody else is always like, if you want more time, you need to cut back on those video games. Those video games aren't doing anything for you. And you and I both know that's not true.
That's horsey
If
sauce.
anything, we should cut back on work and play video games.
Stupid
right?
work.
Exactly.
Who needs money?
Sometimes I think, because I read these articles about these like newly discovered Amazon tribes or Aboriginal Australians, and they have like just something insane. They have like a 500 calorie diet, and they work for 2 hours every day, like killing lizards or something. And by the time we discovered these tribes, we had like the metrics and the heuristics to go and be like, how happy, like actually accurately measure their happiness. And they were all so off the charts happy with how everything was.
Yeah.
And they're not sitting there going, I wish I was in a 10-story office. I wish I had a car. I wish I was a celebrity and had money. Like there's so much better. And I think, and I'm like, what have they figured out? Like what's the secret, right? Mm-hmm. Because there are some people that will tell you that like personal happiness is an ignoble goal, and you should work your entire life to give of yourself, and you should at the end of your life just be ash because you've given so much away, and that's what real virtue is giving and giving. I'm not one of those people. I think that like I think that it's okay to be happy, and it's okay to want to be happy, and it's okay to like do things that make you happy. Like life's short, and there's a lot of it sucks.
Yeah, I think it's just different philosophies. Honestly, I think the whole. I think there's happiness in trying to. I think this might sound like I'm defending materialism, but I kind of am. But at the same time, it's just like perspectives, and you can look at it in this perspective. It's like, okay, I want this new video game that's coming out. It's $60. I don't have $60. How am I going to get $60? Well, I'll have to work for it. And so it's like a goal. It's like, you get a job, you get a second job, you get, and then you work towards that goal to get that game. And when you get that game, it's not like it's a better feeling as if it's a better feeling than someone just, you're a trust fund baby and everything is given to you. It means more when you buy the $60 game when you actually freaking earned it, Does it bother you at all that there's somebody sitting on a rock that's like, doesn't want your game, your system, your electricity, your TV, or your controller, and wouldn't trade places with you in a second? No, well, that doesn't bother me at all, because all 5 of those things that you just listed are now mine. They are now mine and not his. I made it a lot more expensive, I feel like, when they added those. No, I mean, hey man, that's great. I wish I could think like that. I wish I could meditate. I can't do it. I've tried meditating. Your video game playing is a form of meditation. Yes. I would argue. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. That is 100%. I can't like sit in a room. I probably could if I really tried, to be completely honest with you. But, I've done, me and Ash, she's into meditation sometimes. And, we went to the Crystal Caves, was that the Crystal Caves? Is that what it's called? Anyway, it's the Salt Cave. Yeah, Salt Cave, where you sit in a room of salt, like pink Himalayan sea salt, and you lay down and you bring your own French fries and just dip. And go after ketchup and mustard, and you just go to town on the walls. No, could you imagine that's what they were? Just like, this is so good. It's sea salt cave. No. Apparently there are healing properties in those caves that you just relax and you just take it all in. You lay down. There's like this guy talking in a really beautiful voice, just like you're now drifting into a. And you're just laying down, and the whole time I'm thinking like this is so weird. I can't, like, it's complete it's dark in here, and I keep thinking about just random dark thoughts that keep going in my head. And I'm like, get out of here, dark thoughts. That's horrible.
What dark thing did you want to do with the salt, Shane?
No, I was just like, could you imagine if like freaking like we're all vulnerable in here? Like we were all vulnerable, and because it was right after. I remember it was right after a shooting, like a big school shooting, and so that was in my mind for like the whole week. Just like at any moment someone could just pull out a gun and shoot me. Like. That's just it's an irrational fear, but when those things happen, that kind of puts things in perspective for you. It's kind of like you're walking around. It's not
irrational, Shane. It's not irrational at all.
You're right. Yeah, you're walking around. You're kind of like, I know I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be scared.
Is this the second?
Is this it? Yeah. It's like, is this how I'm going to die? I'm going to sit in this like pink Himalayan cave, and someone's going to just come in and just start shooting. But again, totally irrational. It's not,
You did not get anything out of that session. It sounds like.
No. But it wasn't even just that thought. It was just other thoughts too. That was just, and that was like the whole time I was just trying to stop thinking about things, because the whole point of meditation is you're not thinking. You're just being, and I can never just be unless I'm playing video games. When I'm playing video games, I'm in my comfort zone. I'm like, I'm in it, But yeah,
I'm not gonna gatekeep happiness. If you find something that works for you, and find something that doesn't. I know a lot of people who tried meditation and they were like, I can do it, but like, what's the benefit? Like, they get more benefit. Say,
I bet you I could. I bet you if I really tried though, because I think my OCD. I think just my OCD brain just like can't sit still for a while. I'm always thinking about like other things I need to be working on. Though,
if even let's say if all you got out of that was like the awareness that you are not a sitting still, or how rarely you sit still, or that was the most uncomfortable part, that you were sitting still, then maybe there's like some self-knowledge maybe that comes from that. That's something that we don't do. That's like one of the, I think, the benefits of meditating is forcing yourself to like. It's like fasting from activity, or it's fasting from things that actually are important, that you're like mindfully putting off or distracting yourself from. Yeah. I don't meditate, so I don't know. So
no, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful, and it might be something I'm willing to look up in the future, because I might need a little bit of it.
My new motto is there's really only so many hours in the day.
There really is, man. There really is.
That clock goes really quick, and when it's over, you're dead. I didn't mean for it to be like. I didn't mean for it to be like that. I don't mean like your life clock. I just mean like the general experience of being human is something that I want to participate in. It's something I want to be standing for, not lying in a salt cave.
There you go. There you go. All right. I think that's a good place to end.
I feel very zen.
Yeah, I feel very zen at the moment. I think we got out what we needed to talk about. Do you have anything else to add?
I would like to. I think that after talking to you, I'm going to be inspired to maybe... I won't be waking up any earlier, okay? Because only so many hours in the day. But making time for video games. The thing that I like about doing these with you is that you make them sound so important. When maybe there's a lot of voices out there that would say that if you're going to cut, like, how when people say, you're going to save money by cutting Starbucks lattes out of your life, and that's how you're going to save all that, you save millions of dollars by not drinking Starbucks every day anymore. And then you meet somebody that's like really into coffee, and they just sit there and talk about coffee, and you're like, maybe it's okay to drink a Starbucks latte. You're the same way just with video games. Like there are people, we call them the enemy, okay, who think that there's nothing on the other side. And I know, because I've played with people and I've played without people, and I can just sit down and appreciate art for what it is, I guess, and appreciate stuff that somebody spent a lot of time on, not just making it look good, but making it like be good. And I take it personally, and I'm like, thank you. I'm like grateful, because I'm like, thank you, because the day at work was not that great, and driving home took forever, and now here I am, and I'm getting something.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate those kind words. I'm glad that I'm imparting some sort of wisdom.
We'll let you get back to your Assassin's
games.
Creed 3. I know that one's...
Oh, actually, there was one other thing that I forgot we were supposed to talk about. We could talk about it real quick. Freaking the Sonic movie broke the record for video game movies opening weekend.
I did not know that. I actually...
$68 million.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. I'm going to watch it eventually, probably when it comes out
good.
on DVD. Did you watch it?
Bro, it's pretty good. Houston has these places that have like movie theaters that you can eat at, and we were so shocked when we got here and found that out. There was like it's like a restaurant / movie theater, and we were like, why does no one in Tennessee know about this? Like, why didn't they bring these here? And we had bought a Chevy Sonic like that week, so we were like, it's a sign. We need to go see Sonic. The movie, and I think we were expecting it to be really bad, and it was actually pretty cool. Like Jim Carrey does a great job, and it's really high quality, and also you could tell that like they played all the old games. I guess if that sounds weird.
I'm excited to maybe say that the video game movie curse might be broken.
I hope so.
I think it grossed by now $100 million.
I hope so. Sometimes I watch something and I'm actually like kind of thankful that I live now in the time that I do, where it's like maybe easier than it's ever been to make a good... I know that bad movies still get made, but like when people are taking old franchises and being like, give them the new treatment, right? Give them the like, this is what the quality of movies is like now, and it's coming out really good. I like that.
Yeah.
So that Sonic was definitely a win.
That's awesome. That I'm glad that you enjoyed it. It makes me more excited to actually watch it. And maybe now, I don't go to the theater anymore. It's just too much.
What if they serve food?
Of a hassle. It's too much of a hassle. I can't do it. I cannot do it.
What if they served food, Shane? Just imagine. It's like a restaurant. Someone's bringing you food. You don't have to get up. They're bringing it to you.
I don't know. I mean, is that the place to eat food? Is a big giant movie theater where a guy next to you is just like,
it's actually,
and then you're trying to watch the movie, trying to pay attention to like the scene, and you're like, dude, can you just calm down with the ribs?
I'm glad you said that because I actually dropped some barbecue sauce on the crotch of my pants, and because it was pitch black in the theater, it's like pitch black. I couldn't really check it. Like I didn't want to slide forward and spread it anymore, so I couldn't check it at all until the lights came back on, and that's all I thought about for a lot of the movie.
See?
was my hidden barbecue sauce.
I think
thing.
Popcorn's okay. Cookie dough bites, Milk Duds. These are okay for movie theater. Maybe not even Milk Duds, because sometimes they get stuck in your teeth, and you're just like with those horrible mouth sounds.
That is exactly what happens to everyone. Oh man.
But yeah, we can end on that. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Evan. We're gonna do it again. Hopefully sooner than the last time.
Sounds good.
Get my life together.
Here. I'm here.
Cool, man.
All right, take it easy, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
You too, man.
Bye.
Bye.